Hey everybody, Tim Norris here, or you can call me GreyElephant.
And Carmen Norris.
Alright, and welcome to episode 1. We don't really know what to call this show 100%. We just want to sit here and chat with you guys, and we want to make this a regular program, but we do want to title this one First Love.
First Love.
Oh, I got little hearts in my eyes when I look at you and I say that.
Aw, that's so sweet.
It is sweet. It is. You should be flattered.
We will have different topics for you, maybe once a week.
Yeah, we're talking about once a week.
I'm not his first love, he's lying.
Close enough, though. I think,
we have been married 20 years, so close enough, right?
I can't remember back far enough. So, what got us into gaming? What was the first games that kind of, pushed us over the edge? We've all got, I guess, a history of what got us here, What were the games that were placed in front of us that finally said, wow, I like this.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I want more of this. And so we thought we'd talk a little bit about ours, and are we going to go back to, we're not going to go back to when we was kids, obviously. We got to talk about when we was adults, right?
Right.
And I think...
As a couple.
Okay, I want to create a starting point.
Right.
I think it began with the tactics.
It did. It
Okay.
began with the tactics.
It began with the tactics. Now, if you're not familiar with the tactics, that was a Hasbro release. And if you're familiar with anything Hasbro, you might as well just say Hasbro and just put discontinued right after that, because that's what they do, whatever.
But thank you, Hasbro, because, we made friends through tactics and got started.
Yeah. So it began there, and it was because of Star Wars, and they came out with the Star Wars line, and if it wasn't for the Star Wars line, we'd have never done it. But but you gotta, okay, while they had the tactics, I would always go down the aisle, and these used to be at Walmart and stuff, and I used to pick up the boosters, but I'd always have to walk past HeroScape to pick these up, and I was always interested.
That's why we switched to HeroScape when Tactics was discontinued.
The Tactics got shelved, and then we moved into another Hasbro product, which was HeroScape.
Yes.
And obviously we were the bane of anything at that time because then it became discontinued.
Well, and he had to have something to collect, is what it is. So he had to switch to HeroScape.
Yeah, that must have been what it was.
I think it was.
I had a hell of a lot of that stuff, man.
Oh, yeah.
But then it became discontinued. And now, okay, I tell you what, I got a question for you, because during this time when it was becoming discontinued, they had switched to Wizards of the Coast, and we went to one of our very first Gen Cons. Do you remember what year that was? Now, mind you, I don't believe you went with me this year, unless you went for one day on a Saturday, but I went to Gen Con.
I probably went Sunday.
Maybe you would have went Sunday.
Because we probably didn't have a babysitter,
Maybe took the kiddos, yep.
So, I'm thinking
what was our first year?
Age of the kids into consideration, I'm going to guess 2008.
You were really close. 2009. 2009. So this would be our, 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13. This would be our 6th Gen Con that we're going to attend this year.
Only 6 Gen Cons. We're not so old after all. Right?
You feel younger than?
Yeah.
Yeah? You're not quite as old.
We're young gamers.
We're newly gamers. Can you call it newly gamers?
Sure.
Yeah,
We might not be newlyweds, but we're newly gamers, right?
Now, at that Gen Con, because we walked around wide-eyed and, woo, world of gaming.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, a bunch of weirdos walking around cosplaying, which now we're like, I want to cosplay.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny how that progressed, too. That's a whole nother... That's for a taller beer.
Yeah. Don't have the money for that right now, so...
I'm not as skinny as I used to be.
Exactly. I'm trying to be some of these anime girls. Here he is supposed to be. You're kind of big.
Now, when we was at Gen Con, we were... it's funny talking about this because I remember walking around, and I remember that I would see a lot of these games with the miniatures, and I'd be, wow, it looks so cool,
Yeah.
and just enamored by them. But I was always worried about how complicated so many of these board games were. And so you were just nervous to even want to sit down and try them because you just felt like, I'm not going to pick this up.
Well, and I think HeroScape was probably the
most complicated, probably.
The most lengthy game that we've ever gotten into.
Oh, yeah.
We try to keep our games kind of short. We don't really go for hours and hours of play.
So during my wandering, and I remember you wasn't with me at this time, but during my, I think I had Steven with me, in fact. I came out of the box. You guys familiar with out of the box publishers? And they had Ninja vs. Ninja, Fish Eat Fish,
Yeah.
Cloud9. And I bought like practically everything they had.
Those were our first games.
10 days through the USA.
Yeah.
Which, God, we've been buying like all of those. Which that's a whole other story. We're gonna have to make that a topic too.
We kind of started out with those kind of more like family games.
Yeah,
right?
simple games. We could sit down. What was that one with the barnyard animals, and you'd have to make like the noises before your opponent? Snorta. That was another one. And I remember I bought all these, and I brought home like 7, 8 of these games from the same publisher.
And we had a blast.
Oh, a wonderful time, you know.
Yeah.
And
we had our nieces and nephews with us a lot at that time. You know, they're all grown up now. So
yeah, but we still have several. I think we have every single one of those games still.
Yeah.
And but
we played with them a lot. So I think that's one reason that kind of our gaming genre has changed is because we don't play with them now, you know.
But now we've got our own kids,
teenage.
and now we're starting to get our own kids into it, which we had a really cool experience.
Jake is 7 years old, so he's just now getting started. Emmy doesn't really have the attention span, so she's really not that interested.
She does well, just certain games. So, as you can tell, I mean, the point that we're trying to drive to you guys is that, I mean, we all had our beginning moments, you know? I mean, we all just didn't go from 0 to War Machine, you know. We all started somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
And for us, it was these simple games, you know. Fish Eat Fish, Cloud9, you know, Snorta, all those silly games.
You know, but when we came up with the title of this, First Loves, the first thing that came to my mind though was not these games.
No.
I got it.
And in fact, okay, I tell you what. Now, I did a little research, and you're not aware of this research I did, okay? But after Gen Con, I placed my first online order, okay? And this is a big deal that I did this because, oh my God, ordering board games from an online store? What a dork, right? Gosh, what a nerd. What was our first online order of board games, Carmen? Now, mind you, this was back in January of 2010. So this would have been a few months after Gen Con. So, can you name one of them? I could give you a hint if you need.
Give me the first letter.
The H for all of them.
H.
Now, okay,
H
here I'm going to help you too. Both there's only 2 games. One's an expansion for one of them.
Okay.
And they both begin with H.
I'm thinking early on, family type games. Hey, that's my fish.
You didn't say it right, so you get half credit. It's what?
Hey, that's my fish.
You gotta account for the exclamation marks.
Okay.
Yes. Hey, that's my fish was one of them. Do you remember the other?
I had Castle Panic in my head, but that's not an H, so I guess
you
that's
are
wrong.
so close because that is a part of our second order, which I was going to ask you next. But the second one was Hive. And we ordered the Mosquito expansion with it.
We still have that one.
Yes, we do have that
and
one.
we don't ever play it.
Well, because I've decided I don't care for abstracts as much. You know? They're okay, and I don't know. It's a strategy more so than abstract, but still.
I think he always beats me at those type of games, so that's why we don't care for him that much.
I got them heavy beetles. I'm going to lay down on your ladybug, or what are you? The queen bee, that's what you are. I'm going to go sit on your bee. So 4 months after that, we placed our second order. Now, mind you, once again, this was a big deal because this is where I actually tried to go for free shipping. Okay, now the first order was from Cool Stuff, the second order is from Cool Stuff. This time I went for free shipping.
And he was spending all my money on board games.
All the money. Now, so this was over $100 order I placed here, okay? And you named one of them. Now, when you said Castle Panic, it's part of this group, and I bet you can name the other 3 now. Because there's 3, there's a total of 4. Yep.
Okay. Castle Panic.
Yep.
Forbidden Island?
No.
That's later, I guess. Let's see. Wait, I had one in my mind.
Where else would it be?
Lost Cities.
Okay, you're wrong again.
Oh.
Okay, so Castle Panic. Well, I thought you was actually going to get this, but Castle Panic.
Yeah.
I'll name one more of them. Pandemic.
Pandemic, of course.
And
of course.
It's
Small World.
Very good. And
Stone Age.
Stone Age. You're so good. Yes, you remembered
Age.
all of them.
See, well, I should have thought of Stone Age, because to tell you the truth, when I think of First Loves,
Stone Age is there.
Stone Age is right there.
And okay, so let's talk about that, because that's where, this is where the gears started shifting, okay?
Yeah.
We went from silly little family games, and now we're going into Euros and
deck
worker
builders
placement.
and, yeah.
Well, we got the deck builders a little bit later after that because we were still doing research on what do we want, Dominion or Thunderstone. Which
I just remember the top 3. When I think first loves, the first thing that comes into my head is the top 3: Thunderstone, Stone Age, Carcassonne.
Because that was our stone collection.
That was,
and we played them to death. And we would always be like, which one you want to play? Thunderstone, Carcassonne, Stone Age.
Yep.
You know, that was a big deal to us. But this is where the gears shift, guys. This is where we went from playing these silly little family games to where we started getting a little bit heavier.
And this was just a few months after our first Gen Con, right?
Yeah. And this is our first time that we ever played a co-op with Pandemic. And that was very interesting. And what's funny was, remember how long we played Stone Age wrong?
Yeah. We still loved it, but we were playing it wrong.
We played that one. We thought that once one of the piles of resources ran out, that signified the game was over.
I didn't read. He read the instructions.
I don't even know how to read. I don't even know how to read. I was looking at the pictures and trying to figure it out, and she just followed along. But I guess that's
so we'd run out of stone, it'd be over. You know?
When you're inexperienced, you don't understand. You don't know the difference. You know what I'm saying? So you don't realize, hey, there's something wrong here. It's not clicking. But yeah. Anyway, so there you go. I mean, that's how we got to where we are now. You know, and a lot of these games we still have that we're even talking about.
Right. Well, I thought I would mention at this time we usually played with just each other or our nieces and nephews, which were around teenage, because when we try to introduce our friends into these games, especially Pandemic, oh man,
that's another taller beer story. Those were moments, weren't they? So hey, what were your guys' first loves? What got you guys into gaming? Obviously, something sparked that interest. What was it? Let us know. Hey, and if you feel like it, write to this email address right here, and if you'd like, we'll read your name off and what your first loves were and what got you into gaming on our next episode, which will be games you fell out of love with. So it's not all lovey-dovey, because sometimes we got these...
breaking up is hard to do.
Yes! Breaking up is hard to do. Yes, it is.
That's why we end up with hundreds of games on our gaming shelves.
Bing, 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 bing. Okay, so...
it is time for Random Ramblings.
Random Ramblings. Okay, so we got a ton of little questions in here. Carmen wrote some down, I wrote some down. Now, we're going to each pull a question out of the bucket, this awesome, cool bucket we got from Disney World. It's you know, we should come up with something more thematic than this. I don't know. I mean, this feels very... shouldn't we have something that has like an elephant on it? I mean, we are like elephant based here, right?
You're the one who put them in there. I didn't.
I couldn't find anything elephanty. Okay. So Carmen's going to pull a question out of here, and I'm going to pull a question out and read it too. So you want to go first or second?
I will read the question first. Ready?
Oh God. All right.
Let's see.
So we're going to see...
Get your brain ready.
Yeah, I know.
All right. What's the best way to introduce non-gamers to gaming? Cram or casual?
Okay,
you wrote that one.
All right. So what's the best way to introduce new gamers into gaming? Cram them or well, you got to go casual. I know for me, from my own experience, if you try to cram games at newcomers,
like Pandemic,
they will run away more often than not. So and what I'm talking about cram is that you can't. You gotta baby step, man. You can't do the hard ones right off the bat. Take it slow. Take it, this is what you do. You gotta start with the easy games, right? If you try with the tough ones, right? Look, if I'm gonna teach somebody their first co-op game, I'm not gonna start with Robinson Crusoe. Okay? All right? It's not gonna happen, all right? We're going to start with something a little easier, like maybe Forbidden Island, maybe something like that. That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
If I'm going to teach them their first, Euro game, I'm probably going to have to not go with Terra Mystica.
Right.
Maybe we should go with something a little bit lighter, like, I don't know, maybe even Lords of Waterdeep, because that's a simple way. That's an introductory one. So,
right.
Yeah, I think you got to take those baby steps. You got to remember, we all started somewhere, and if you try to cram in a tough one on somebody, chances are they're going to run away and you're never going to see them again. So, you know.
And it's not probably going to be enjoyable that first time you play
For
either.
anybody. All right, so.
Uh-oh.
Now
It's my turn.
Yes, I hope I pull out one of mine.
Get the gears turning.
All right, so I hope you're ready for this. You ready?
Okay.
All right, so. Ooh, this one's a good one. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
First game that comes to your mind when I say the following word. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Bored.
Eclipse.
Really?
Yeah.
You might want to explain that one.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just a really long game. And the first time I played was the last time I played because I was out of the game, you know, a fourth of the way through. And I had to sit there for another, 4 hours waiting for the game to finish at that point.
That was the game night that would never end.
And they were in the other room playing these other games, having a blast. You know, I was hearing them laughing and carrying on while I'm there. Oh no!
I was so glad. I was not part of that Eclipse game because we played so.
You think about all the other games you could have played, you know.
Because you were upstairs with 3 others being taught the game, two very experienced players versus 2 first-time players, and I was downstairs with, I believe, 5 other people, and
having a blast.
And we were playing Escape, Curse of the Temple. We played Galaxy Trucker and all kinds of other stuff. So we're hooting and hollering the entire time.
Yeah.
And poor Carmen.
Yeah.
I felt
well,
bad.
you asked which game comes to mind, but honestly, I get bored if there's too many players with any game because there's just too much downtime.
Well, that wasn't really the question, but I think that's a good point. Yeah, I think too much downtime.
If I think bored, you know.
But board game, the first game came to your mind was Eclipse, and it's because was it because of the experience or because of the game?
It was just because of my experience, I'm sure. Yeah, probably.
We never played it again after that.
No,
she refused.
So I
She refused. She flat out refused.
You know, it takes a long time. If I'm gonna use that much time, I'd rather play something like Mage Wars.
I had to sell it. I had to sell it because it would just sit there and collect dust. You would not play with me.
Sorry.
I don't believe you're sorry.
You could have played it with somebody else.
So we got more little questions in here. Should we ask one more or are we done? We done? One apiece? That's it?
One apiece. You'll get more on the next episode.
You get more. You'll get more. Now, if you guys think of any questions you want to answer the little bucket here, by all means.
Send us your questions.
We'll throw them in there, man, but they'll be pulled out randomly. Hey, the other thing, like I said, our next topic will be games that you fell out of love with. So look for that episode to be sometime next week. They broke my heart, man. They broke my heart. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye. Griffin Gaming, from new releases to pre-orders. Griffin Gaming. Enter in promo code GreyElephant for 5% off your order.